Welcome back to Worthington Model Railway, and continuing my theme of what did I find at Warley, today we're going to look at some British Railways Mark 1 stock. So I thought I'd start with this look at Mark 1 stock with these really nice horse boxes from Bachmann. Not as big a bargain as some of the other things that I found. The recommended retail on these, I think, is $39.50, and the street price is about £35. But just seeing three of them together was good. This is a double pack. This is the 38526Y BR Mark 1 horse box twin pack green, and this is the single one. So we'll open them up and have a look at them in a second. So these horse boxes were not widely used. They were kind of a private thing that British Rail had, and if you wanted to take your horse somewhere, they would stick one or more of these horse boxes on the end of the train. Interestingly, they're non-corridor stock, so they did have a toilet in them, and they also had a little bed in there for the groom to be able to ride in and sleep in. And from what I understand, they had room for 3 horses in each one. So you wouldn't generally see more than a couple of these, maybe 3 at the maximum, on in a rake, and they'd just either stick them at the beginning or the end of the coaching stock where they could easily move them out. So anyway, let's open them up and have a look. These are just the typical Bachmann boxes with the clamshell plastic inside. And interestingly, I mean, these almost look like they're brand new. I don't know if these are a new old stock or what, or used, but they really do not look used. There's quite a comprehensive bag of goodies that you can fit here. I don't quite know where they all go. I'd have to have a look through and see. But probably, if you want to run them, these are more for when it's sitting on the shelf. Let's open up and have a look. The amount of detail on these is amazing. They're pretty exquisite. There we go. Let me pull the camera down a little. And there's the detail on the roof. Separately fitted piping here. These are all moldings. I don't think they're separately fitted. But some very, very fine detail in the molding there. So incredible amount of very fine detail here on the molding even. These pipes are separately fitted, but on the roof here you can see the detail on the molding there. Very, very fine. Everything else here on these doors, the door handles, what have you, it's all molded, but it's picked out sort of in brass. And glazing's nice. And this actually says, not to work between Tunbridge and Battle. Apparently, I believe there was a narrow tunnel between Tunbridge and Battle. It was a 2-track tunnel, and there wasn't enough room to get the width of the Mark 1 through the tunnel. At some point, that tunnel was changed to single line working, so they could get the wider coaches through it. But that's sort of an interesting tidbit. The detail on the underneath of this is just amazing too. I mean, there's a tremendous amount going on here. Really, really beautiful model. And I don't know how much is going on inside there. I think there is some detail on the inside. I can see it with the naked eye. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but there is a seat in there and some other bits and pieces. But these are certainly very, very nice. I'll open the other 2 out. I'm sure they're all pretty much identical, apart from the numbering on them. But we'll look at them all. I also thought it might be worth mentioning these separately fitted pipes here, or handrails. I don't know quite what they are. They could be handrails. There is also a little, looks like it might be separately fitted lamp iron there, and the steps here going up. I don't know how much of that the camera is picking out here, but certainly some very fine detail on the end of this here. There we go. Now I think you can see it better. So these particular boxes, we can see they're in the green, which I suppose would have been Southern. They did also have them in the LMS colors, but they were a British Railways Mk1 stock. So, but they don't have any British Railways markings on them that I can see. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There we go. So we can see here that this is also an S number, so it would be a Southern number with the green, but British Railways. And I'm not quite sure what the XP is for. I need to look that up. But again, they're all really beautifully detailed. That's one side, and if we look on the other side, see basically the same information. Obviously, this is the onboard toilet, lavatory, whatever, because there is no corridor on these. And let's take a look at the third one. As I say, they all are basically the same. But we will run those behind some of my Mk1 coaching stock. Let's go look at the Mk1 coaching stock that I bought. Now these British Rail Mk1 coaches that I bought were definitely a good price. I think the recommended retail on these is about £70, and the street price on them is maybe £60. So at 30 odd pounds a piece, pretty good deal. These were from Rails. And there we can see this is 39179B. Now, I do have one of these coaches, but it does not run particularly well. And so when I saw this, I thought, we'll snag it. And again, I think this is pretty much new. If it's used, it's hardly been used. The bag of close coupling is right there. It just looks like it's almost never been opened. In fact, all the other coaches look the same way too. So let's have a quick look at this. Let me pull the camera up a little bit so we can see the whole thing. There we go. Nice detail. Full brake, obviously. Western region, but British Railways livery as a Mk1. And again, tremendous detail on the underframe, and I think they even have, no, on the other ones there's some additional things you can put on the underframe. Separately fitted grab handles on the end here, some separately fitted detail with the steps and the handle. The detail on the windows here is really nice. I think you can see that there. Let's turn it around, look on the other side. And the door with guard printed on it, and I think you can just about read emergency lighting point, and the numbers here on the bottom. Really, really nicely printed. Load 8 tons distributed. I can read that. Hopefully the camera picks that up. Bogies are very nice too on these. Obviously this is all molded on the top, but it's nicely done. These look to be separately fitted grab handles on each end. So that's the full brake. Let me look at the other coaches I bought. Kind of always on the lookout to add to my existing collection of the Pullman Mark 1 Pullman cars. I have enough to make up a rake, but I saw these three particular ones on rails, and these really were a bargain at $39.50. I mean, the recommended retail I think is £79 or $79.99, and generally speaking, they run at about 65, maybe street price, maybe a little bit more. So I thought these were really good. Again, I feel like these are new. A couple of boxes are a little beat up, but they certainly don't look to have been run much at all. So I get, and they're obviously slightly different eras. I mean, this one, the box is different, doesn't have the red on the bottom. It's a blue box, so I'm thinking it's slightly older. And this one is 39-300A, does have the lighting in it. This one, I don't know if these have lighting or not, but this is 39-310B. So, and this one is 39-280B. So this one is the first kitchen. I think they do all have lighting in. They look to do that, but let's open them up and we can have a look. It's interesting because I noticed that. And we'll look at this when we get them out. The curtain colors on this one and this one are the same, and on this one they're different. They're blue, but we can look at that as we look at each one in turn. So starting off with the 39300A, which is a kitchen second. Car number 333. The seconds obviously all had a car number on them as opposed to a name. Again, I say this looks like it's brand new. The box with the bag with the close coupling things, and also this is the one that actually does have additional vacuum that you can, and actuators, air reservoirs, whatever you want to call them, that can be put on the underframe, and it actually tells you. The position where you're going to put those reservoirs on, depending upon the car. So, not something that I plan to do, but I suppose I could do it. Anyway, let's get this out and have a look. So again, separately fitted piping, handrails, a lot of detail on these fans at the kitchen end of the car, and the roofs are nicely put together. Moldings are quite nice, and we have these different moldings for these vents here, again at the kitchen end. And as I said, this one has blue curtains. Nice battery boxes underneath, and the moldings on the bogies are really well done, and the fine printing is just amazing. I think you can see that, the crest and on the under frame there. Looking inside, we have the tables with the lights, and a lot of detail on the inside there. Obviously could put, maybe try to put passengers in at some point. And this end is blocked off because it's where the kitchen is, and the corridor for the kitchen is there. Lots of nice detail on the ends, again, including the steps and lamp iron, separately fitted handles here on the doors. And we can see the separately fitted detail on the ends, and there is a lamp iron right here, and the grab handles grab rails. Interesting as I'm opening up this one, because the plastic has that yellow color to it, which suggests that this one's been sitting around for quite a while. So I don't know if this one actually might be earlier than that one. I'll have to look up the dates and times to see when these were produced. And if I look at this one also has the yellow plastic. Well, so I'm not sure if it's the modern plastic doesn't last as long or if it's older plastic, but we'll get them both out and have a look at them. So the immediate difference we notice are the roofs. These are obviously a darker gray roof, and at certain times they were painted with a darker gray roof. It wasn't unusual to see a rake with different colored roofs in there. And if we actually look, we're going to see that we have all three types here, right? So we have the second kitchen, we have the first kitchen, and the second parlor. So there's a different makeup on each of these. The parlor obviously is just seating, and being that this is second class, you'll see more windows here than you would on a first class. Obviously, again, with the kitchen car, we actually have the same number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows, but the spacing of the windows is different, and there is obviously a slightly different makeup between the two kitchen cars, and there's more space between these. And I think the position of the toilet is different because it's here on there, and we don't see one here. Here we do see one each end here. If we look at the other sides, we'll see that they are pretty close to being identical, but there's toilet at this end, and this one is just has the windows on this side. The toilets are on the other side. So the amount of detail is pretty much identical. Obviously, the kitchen ones they have more fans. I don't know why the second class kitchen has more fans than the first class kitchen, but it obviously does. But otherwise, they're very, very similar. Really, really nicely done. And Bachmann did a great job with these. The other thing is you'll see there's a different number of battery boxes on the bottom here between the different types. Move these over just a little so we can see that. So there's a little bit of difference on the underframe on the parlor car versus the kitchen car, which I take it just needed more power for the components of the kitchen. Anyhow, really no other major differences apart from, as I say, the color of the curtains does kind of stand out. On these, they're a turquoisey blue color. Let me just show you there. On this one, they're kind of a darker brown, goldy color. You can see that. And on this one, they're much more of an orange color. And I think probably, the interior detail is really good on all of these. The tables are nice. They have the lit table lamps. So, very pleased with that addition. So we'll take a detailed look at these, and then we'll get them on the layout. So I had a look online, and pretty much every picture I can see of horse boxes, they are right behind the tender. And I actually didn't find any pictures with more than two. There were a number with one, quite a number with two. I didn't actually see any with three, but I'm going to run three anyway. And so here we go. I grabbed an old DC-A4, Ralph Wedgwood in British Rail colors, primarily because the only right now the only thing that's running on the layout is the DC circuit. All the DCC stuff is disconnected because of all the work I'm doing. So I just thought we'd run these few cars. Thanks for watching more of my Warley finds. I will be posting another couple of videos later in the week with some additional Warley finds. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe with the button to the top right, another video to the top left. If you liked the video, please hit the like button.